I'm not missing out on fishing this time.
I'm not missing out on fishing this time either.
Well, it doesn't matter this time, boys. Your rods are no good to you. We're fishing with hand lines off the beach.
Well, I'm not going to get wet. I'll see you guys in Ephesus.
Well, I'm going fishing.
Me too.
The Apostle Paul was converted to Christianity when he travelled from Jerusalem to Damascus. Jesus Christ then commissioned him to be an ambassador to the non-Jewish world. Paul travelled through Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Turkey, Greece and Italy. Many people despised he and his message. Some beat him, others flogged him, some stoned him, and many city officials imprisoned him, but Paul continued to preach. During 57 AD, Paul was arrested in Jerusalem. Since he was a Roman citizen, he demanded that Caesar himself hear the case. This occurred in 62 AD. 3 years later, Paul was executed.
Well, this morning we're on the beach at Ephesus. We're doing some fairly technical stuff this morning, so keep an eye on it because you might miss something. We've got about 6'6" of Rio enforcing rod. We've got a dead mullet. The other ones are alive. Glenn's out there at present putting some out. 3/0 hook, about 1.5 meters of trace, a swivel and 5 sinkers. Then we've got about 40 metres of monofilament around a piece of wood, tied onto the piece of wood, and then around the wood we've got a piece of rubber. The trick is, they tell us, the locals here, is that it's very shallow. So you've got to wade out, throw it out as far as you can, poke the Rio in the ground, stick the rubber around the top. I hope the fish are not too big. Wade back in, make yourself a cup of coffee and sit back and wait for the action. I'm going to join Glenn now.
This is Lysimachus, the builder of the ancient city of Ephesus. Originally, this part of the world was conquered by the Persians, but after Alexander the Great swept through, he established a series of kingdoms in this part of the world, and Lysimachus, as I say, was the builder of Ephesus. The Ephesus that we see today, however, is not a Greek city as built by Lysimachus. It is a Roman city. This is Artemis, goddess of fertility, goddess of the Ephesians. People came from far and near to worship Artemis in her temple in Ephesus. That temple, which was perhaps the biggest temple in the world at that time. Artemis brought great wealth to Ephesus because of the tourists who came here to pay their homage to Artemis. This is all that remains of the giant statue of the Roman Emperor Domitian. The statue was located in his temple in the city of Ephesus. Now, Domitian was emperor between 81 and 96. He was the second son of the Roman Emperor Vespasian. Vespasian was a great conqueror, but this man was puny, insecure kind of an individual. He persecuted Jews and Christians and various philosophical groups. When he died, the Roman Senate declared that he was to be of damned memory, memoria damnatio, and all public record of this particular man was to be removed. And we can imagine the symbolism of this man and all the terror that he could install as people were required to worship his statue in the city of Ephesus.
we've had absolutely no luck fishing. I reckon the locals have sent us on a complete wild goose chase.
Hey, there you are, Lumpy.
Mate, I thought you were bringing me to show me a temple.
This is a temple of Artemis.
There's not much of it left.
Well, there's a column and there's some stalks on the top of it. What more do you want? In its day, it was one of the 7 wonders of the world.
One of the 7 ancient wonders, I imagine.
That's correct. People came to this great shrine
Yes.
of the goddess Artemis,
So what did they worship her for? Was she any particular thing?
goddess of fertility, almost certainly. And very likely people who are having trouble having children
Yes.
worship this goddess.
So Paul came here. He must have preached against that.
Oh, sure did. He said that, you know, you mustn't worship things made with hands. You must worship God who made all things and his son whom he raised from the dead. And, but there was a terrific trouble about this because there was a man named Demetrius who was the head of a guild of tradesmen who made the little receptacles into which these effigies were placed.
So he must have had quite an impact on their business.
Terrific impact. And he said not only is he robbing the goddess of her honour,
Yes.
but he's depriving us of our income. So Demetrius stirred up his people in his guild, and a kind of lynch mob formed, and they started yelling out, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians," and they said, "Let's go to the theatre in Ephesus and let's drag Paul in there and see what he's got to say for himself."
Wow.
So let's go there and have a look.
Oh, yes, please.
And today I'm going to be cooking a Turkish white bean salad. What I've done is I've soaked 1 cup of white beans overnight. I've rinsed them off a few times and I've placed them in boiling salted water and cooked them until tender, about 30 to 40 minutes. To this I'm going to add 2 sliced red onions. I'll slice them up now. We can toss them in. I've also got here half a cup of red wine vinegar. Half a cup of a good olive oil, plenty of olive oil in Turkey. We can mix that through a little bit, let the oil and the vinegar mixed in with the onions and the beans. Right, to this we can add half of our chopped parsley. We've actually got 2 cups here, so I'm going to throw in about a cup. And as simple as it may seem, the salad's ready to serve. G'day, Paul. G'day, Lumpy.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
What you doing?
Just done some Turkish white bean salad.
Right.
Going to garnish it with some sliced boiled egg.
Wow.
And to that, I'm going to add some mixed olives.
I'm ready for this.
Why didn't you get pitted olives?
The green ones are.
Oh, okay. Listen, we're on our way to Ephesus. Do you want to go?
Why not? Sounds good.
Let's head off.
So here we are in the great theatre of Ephesus. It held 25,000 people in its day. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's incredible. So this is where the mob wanted to bring the Apostle Paul to what, some sort of a kangaroo court, I take it?
Yeah, they had come from the Temple of Artemis, and the crowd had gathered. The whole city were either in this theatre or milling around outside.
It's quite a spectacle, I take it.
That's right. But they didn't succeed in getting Paul himself at this stage. They grabbed two of his companions, Gaius and Aristarchus, I think their names were. They were from Macedonia, but they didn't get Paul.
And did that appease them?
Well, it didn't. Paul wanted to go in. No doubt he wanted to go in and teach these people the gospel. He was as game as anything. But he had friends in high places, and they said, "Not a place for you, Paul. This is very, very dangerous for you." Well, in the end, the crowd kept yelling and yelling, but one of the city officials, the town clerk, he stood up in front of the crowd and said, "Look, this is no way to settle a problem like this. The courts are open. If you've got complaints against Paul, your complaints there, but in the meantime, you people go home." But so far as Paul was concerned, he was saying to these people, "Look, this graven image, this is no help to you. It's no way to God, and there's only one way to God, and that's through Christ."
The letter to the Ephesians is found in the New Testament section of the Bible. It was written by the Apostle Paul to the Christians living in Ephesus. However, the letter also has a broader audience, speaking to Christians all over the world. The Apostle Paul wants to remind his readers of the greatness of God, the importance of Jesus, to maintain unity in the church, and to encourage them to stand against evil.
In Paul's day, Ephesus was a Roman city of about 250,000 people. Paul himself was here between about the years 52 to 55. It was a city with marble roads, with underground reticulated sewerage, running water, arches, temples, fountains, and this magnificent theatre for 25,000 people. Paul's ministry really laid the foundation for Christianity in this city. In fact, Paul took the city of Ephesus by the ears. First of all, he taught for some months in the synagogue, and then when asked to leave, he began teaching day by day in a local schoolhouse, which he did for several years. And people from the whole province heard the message about Jesus from Paul in that situation. Such was the impact of Paul's ministry in this city during those years that hundreds of people brought their magical books and burnt them publicly. Such was the impact of Paul's ministry in Ephesus that undercut the whole of the shrine-making activity of Artemis, that there was a citywide riot from which Paul barely escaped with his life. It seems that Paul was imprisoned in Ephesus for 1 or 2 brief periods, and during that lengthy period of 3 years, Paul wrote no less than 6 of his letters. 3 letters to the Corinthians, 2 of which haven't survived, and as well as that, from prison, he wrote to the Ephesians, that is to scattered house churches in Ephesus, to the Colossians, and also a personal letter to Philemon. Paul
we're just off the coast from Kushadasi. That's not far from Ephesus. Now, I was reading in my Bible this morning about Paul's journey past here. And it was my understanding that he'd established a church there. Why would he go past? Can you tell me?
Ephesus was some miles inland. It's on a tidal river and there's a harbour in there. It would take him some while to get up there.
Okay.
And he's in a hurry. He wants to get back to Jerusalem for the Feast of Pentecost. But also, having narrowly lost his life in the riot in the city, I guess there was some danger in him going back as well.
Okay. Did you get a bite, Glenn?
I did, mate. Nice to get a bite. First bite of the day. Sort of like machine gun fire bite.
I had one of those too.
I've just got this sort of a drawing on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try and hook it and see. There's some weight there, but it's not pulling.
Oh, what is it?
It's an octopus.
Woohoo!
I don't know if I can get him in. See if we can get the camera over there and have a look, because he'll probably drop off once we... Oh, no, I might have the hook in him. I've also got somebody else's line. Don't pull it in, whoever that is.
It's me.
Can you see him there? Hey. All right, I'm going to try and swing him in there now.
Whoa.
Hey, I got something. Is it a blue-ringed octopus? Do they have them here? Is this dangerous, I wonder? I'm not letting him get anywhere near me.
Not big enough for curry, Lumpy?
I don't know, mate. How big do they got to be?
Oh, bigger than that.
Bigger than that. Wow.
He's coming to get you.
He is coming to get me. Look at that. He knows where the best-looking bloke is on the boat. Oh, no, he's gone for the skipper. You're kidding.
Oh, I got a little inquiry there.
You get a bite?
If it's something, it's small, but...
Hey, there's some small thing on here, I think.
Oh,
You got
I
one?
got a bite.
Oh. Way to go.
Bishop's on.
What sort of bait did you use?
Octopus.
Fresh octopus. There it
Fresh
is.
octopus. There
What
you
in the
go.
world is that?
Look
I
at
don't
that.
know.
Don't touch it. It might have poisonous spikes
I
on
won't
it.
touch it.
Well, ask the skipper.
Only its mother would love it.
I'm on. I'm on.
I'm on again too, Lumpy.
True.
There's a double up here.
Oh, you're kidding.
Give me some more hooks.
Well done, sir. Still only small fish.
Might have been the... Oh, no, he jumped off.
Oh, I lost mine too. Gee, that's how small they are. You can't tell if you lose them on the way up.
Oh, look at this fish. This is something different.
Look at Paul's. What's that? What is that, Paul?
It looks like a kind of brim, but
Good fish, bad fish?
Black eye.
Good fish. See, they're thick. I'm glad we pulled up to the spot. What's that?
Oh.
Oh, looks a bit like one of those sea bream we had for tea last night.
Yes, it does. Well, it looks a little bit like a snapper too.
Yeah, it's got that brim shape about it, hasn't it? Well, they might not be big, but there sure are plenty of them. No, just one.
you got the knife.
Another monster. Oh dear. Another huge fish. With a pretty little blue stripe under the eye, Glenn. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Pretty, huh? I tell you what, we've had a great morning here. There's been a ton of fish. We must have caught 25 or 30 of them, most of them unfortunately small.
Next week we'll be fishing in the rivers near Denizli, and I'll be talking about some of the background of Paul's letter to the Colossians. Bye for now.
When travelling to Turkey, keep in mind that nobody knows Turkey like Turkish air. When visiting Ephesus, a terrific place to stay is the Hotel Akai.
There's about 4 foot of mud underneath us here. I'm glad I got big flat feet.
If you'd like to find out more information about the Christian message, then grab a pen and write down the 1-800 number at the end of the show. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to your company again next week.